Hello, welcome to the December 2012 episode of Executive Briefing. I'm Lindsay Konzak, editor of Modern Distribution Management at MDM.com, and today I'm joined by new full-time staff writer, Angela Polson. Welcome to the team, Angela.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
In light of Superstorm Sandy and its impact on the East Coast, this month's topic is business continuity and disaster planning. I wrote about this topic in September for MDM Premium. For that article, I spoke with Frank Fasano Jr., who is Vice President of Operations for F&F Industrial Equipment, which is a small industrial distributor based in Middletown, New York. At that time, F&F had not yet had the opportunity to act on the planning that it had done. But that all changed when Sandy hit.
I recently spoke with Frank and got an update on how the storm affected his business and his customers.
Prior to Superstorm Sandy, what disaster planning and business continuity preparations had you put in place?
It's a good question. Our continuity plan centered primarily around two areas. One being the security of critical business data and the reduction in time it takes to restore that data after a disaster. And the second having to do with structuring communication channels to ensure that our customers and suppliers would be able to reach us when they need us most. I recently heard stories from some other local companies in Hoboken and some of the other highly affected areas by the storm. Some of their business operations have been set back months due to flooding. Tragically, some of them had their whole IT backbone, servers and all, located in the basement of flooded buildings. I guess they were thinking they were safe, being in what's not normally considered a flood zone, something that doesn't always cross the minds of people in the New York metropolitan area. But stories like that just put an emphasis on the importance of making sure critical data is disaster-proof. It's one of the most important things that we look at in our continuity plan.
Well, on that note, hurricanes rarely make landfall in the state. Why did you decide to put business continuity plans in place?
Well, it's true. Although hurricanes hitting New York are, as they call, a once-in-a-100-year event, the simple reality is that over the past 12 months or so, New York has been hit from everything from nor'easters and blizzards to even small earthquakes. So no area is really exempt from natural disaster. Beyond that, no matter where you are in the world, there still exists a chance of more localized issues to occur, such as fires, floods, etc. So simply playing the odds and saying it's not going to happen to us is just foolish. Regardless, one of the biggest driving factors that led us to delve into continuity planning was the responsibility we felt to be there for our customers when they needed us most. Utility companies and municipalities make up a large portion of our customer base, and they're the ones working through the disasters to restore much-needed services.
How did Sandy affect your business operations?
Well, we were extremely lucky during Sandy. We only lost power at our facility for about 24 hours, but I can't tell you how many friends, neighbors, as well as our own staff members who were out of power for well over a week. Luckily, some of the continuity preparations I discussed earlier really helped pay off during this brief outage. The outsourced communication channels and remote data access allowed us to continue our key operations with a number of employees working from home. In the past few years, we've even moved over to a cloud-based telephone system that provides us with a seamless transfer of all incoming calls, voicemails, etc., to employees working from home. So in this way, although the outage was short, for us anyway, we had a very seamless transition to the customers. Customers never noticed that we were down whatsoever.
Tell me a bit more about how your customers were affected by the storm.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, a large part of our customer base is made up of utility and municipal customers. So with that said, most were working around the clock, upwards of 3 weeks following Sandy, to restore and rebuild. And that process actually is still going on today. All the customers were faced with flooded stock rooms, power outages and gas shortages to deal with, and utility crews faced roads that were blocked by floods and downed trees. The whole scene in this area was quite a mess.
Were you able to offer help to customers that needed it?
Yeah, after the storm, customers needed everything from road flares, chainsaws, power tools, safety equipment. The whole ordeal was really a test of our own logistical procedures. A number of customers had temporary work areas set up just outside the flooded regions and were receiving deliveries of supplies day and night. So overall, our staff really came together, hustling to arrange shipments, expedite material, get supplies to waiting crews. Had we not been prepared with reliable communication channels and the data uptime that I was discussing earlier, we wouldn't have been able to help our customers when they were scrambling for these needed supplies. In the end, it was really extremely rewarding to know that all our continuity planning paid off the way it did. And after the storm, we had a number of customers reach out to us and thank us for helping them get their operations back on track. And really, that's what it's all about.